Yeah, holy fuck, yeah, never mind.
I think the longest is like September 25th.
Yeah. Never mind, I thought next month was
my dad's
October.
birthday's September 20th.
Well, if you make it that far, they'll probably fly him out here.
If my mom comes too, my parents hate each other.
They can't even like get along for oh really?
Like hates him.
Oh fuck, I didn't know that. I thought they just like, I thought they were good for you guys, you know?
No, they'd start fighting. My mom hadn't seen my dad in probably 2 years. She put a restraining order on him.
Holy shit.
Dressed like Tommy Bahama.
Yeah.
Like always, he dressed like that. All his stuff was Tommy Bahama.
My brother loves that. He loves like Hawaii.
He liked Ralph Lauren. And or you know, just like anything like them silky type tropical shorts, and then he'd get like, you know, like the khakis and
Yeah, I like that look. I know.
and flip flops. But anyways, he kind of looked. This was when he was skinnier. He looks like Alec Baldwin.
Really?
He's got told that a couple times. I can now no, he doesn't look like him at all. But like before, when he was like, you know, playing tennis and was in shape and stuff, I could definitely, like, he got so excited because he used to travel all the time, and these two girls, I guess, were sitting with, like, beside him on first class, and he said that they were, like, flirting with him, and they were like, you know, you look like Alec Baldwin. He got so excited, and I don't know how many times I had to hear him.
Story?
Yeah, I don't know how many times I had to hear him brag about it. But a couple of people told him that. But I can see it in a way. But now he don't look good. I remember when I didn't see him for like 4 months and I saw him for the first time, I was like, oh my God, like you look like crap.
Were you mad at him at any point?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
I was pissed off at him. My dad says a lot of stuff but doesn't do now. Like he'll tell me a lot and then I think it's all just BS. I just let it go in one ear and out the other.
Is your brother close with him?
No, my brother hates my dad.
Really?
My brother hadn't talked to him in 2 years.
Come on.
Swear to God.
How about your sister?
My sister talks to him. She's like so sensitive about my dad.
Oh, so she's close
and
with
I'm
him?
in the middle. I'm like the middle person. I have to keep him. See.
And then you're the closest with your mom?
Oh my God, yeah. Like my mom and my brother are freaking like inseparable. Like, you know how like me and my mom are. Like BFF. And so it's like my mom and my brother are like that. And my sister and my dad are like BFF. But my sister's close. But she'll stick up for my dad, which some things I don't think she should.
And then does your mom get pissed?
I think in a way, sometimes, yeah. And then I'm in the middle. I'm like stuck in the middle of it. And sometimes I'll have to, like if my dad does something and I don't agree with it, I'll let him know. Like my sister, she'll let him walk all over her and say, like, you know, he'll say things to hurt her feelings, and then she'll get all upset, and then he doesn't do it to me because he knows he can't, because I stick up for myself, you know? And, but I mean, he's gotten better, but like I got him, I think I made him feel bad just because, like, before any of this happened, like the divorce, he was like freaking awesome, like the funniest guy, and like the best, you know, dad, and like even though him and my mom, you know, weren't really, well, I think he was more in love with my mom, but I don't think my mom was in love with him, just because he cheated on her so much, you know.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what happened?
Yeah, but see, when me and my sister were little, I think I was like 3. No, I was 2. My sister was 4, and my mom was pregnant with my brother. My dad was having an affair with my mom with another lady. and he was told my mom he was going to leave her for another woman. And then this was like back, I don't even think we had cell phones then. People in the neighborhood would always see him go up to the gas station, use a payphone. Well, he told my mom that he was going to take my sister, because my mom said he loved my sister, because, you know, she was the first one. And my mom's like, you're not going to take her away. So Dad, something happened, and they were split up for a while. We lived with my grandparents. It was my grandparents and my aunt.
Right.
And then later on, you know, my dad, I guess, realized that he was going to have to pay child support for 3 kids, or, you know, whatever. They worked out their differences, and then on Christmas, they were at my dad's mom's house, and he told my mom, I don't love you anymore, and all our stuff, took us back to Illinois. We moved back, and my dad came back again, but my mom said, she was like, no guy would want a woman with, you know, a newborn, a 2-year-old, and a 4-year-old, you know? And she was like, no guy is going to take that responsibility. So she's like, you know, I did what I had to do until you guys were born. And my dad he was a good provider, and, you know, always, you know, it was good to us. But, you know, and he would, every weekend he was basically gone because he was at the country club. But my mom didn't really care for that, you know, and she thought the people were snobby. So my mom always stayed home and, like, cleaned and, like, cut the yard, which my dad should have done it, but my mom always did it.
Wow.
And my dad would always be up at the country club all weekend. And then
What did he do there all weekend? What did he do?
play tennis. After tennis, he'd sit there and drink, you know, how that they normally do. And then, but he didn't want my mom going out doing anything. Like, if my mom's girlfriends wanted her to go on a trip, he'd always make an excuse and tell her, oh, you know, I'm going out of town that week, you can't. Or he would say, we don't really have the money to go, when we did, but he would just say that just to make her feel bad, and so she wouldn't go.
What did he do?
He worked for a company, a chemical company, and he was... Okay.
Sorry.
He worked for a chemical company for 16 years, and he sold hydrochloric. What's that?
Acid.
Yeah. Is that lotion? I need some.
What am I tangled in?
Your microphone, and he was the district manager of, like, the whole southeast part of the United States. So he was always gone on business. And then, but it was good because he had hookups to, like, things, you know, like flying and stuff. Like, he had frequent whatever it's called.
Yeah, flyer miles.
Yeah. And then 2 years. Well, yeah, because I've been divorced for 2 years ago. I started noticing a change in him. Like, he didn't really want to go to work as much. He didn't, he was on the computer. He was acting so weird.
When, before?
2 years ago.
Yeah, before the divorce.
Oh, yeah. And I kept telling my mom, I was like, you know, he's not traveling like he normally does. I think he's going to lose it. And they fired him.
Fuck.
And
For what?
I don't think it, honestly, I don't think he was working. I don't think he was doing anything. But I think my dad would got in trouble. I don't know. I still to this day don't know. I don't even know the reason, ever know anything. And, I've asked, but I don't, like every answer I get, I don't
That's
believe.
bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't think it's real. Then, you know, after that, he didn't care anymore at all about nothing. His attitude was bad. My dad never cussed in front of us. I mean, he'd say like shit and damn or like hell, but like he'd never say the F word or GD, like any of that stuff. And he would just say like vulgar stuff. And then my mom kicked him out. And we all just lived in our house. Like, it was just me, my brother, my sister, and me, or me, my brother, my sister, and my mom, all lived in the house. And my mom was, you know, I don't know where my dad was living. He was just living up at the lake. But, you know, it was better. He would come over if we needed groceries and stuff.
You guys had like a lake house too?
No, my dad just lived up
Moved
there.
over there?
Yeah, moved up that way. But we had a really nice house. And like it was like a cute house. It's set like really far back and off the road, and it was just like it was, you know.
Yeah.
And then we found out on the 21st of November. We found out on my 21st birthday that we were getting kicked out because my dad wasn't making the payments. I called my dad crying, yelling at him. I was like, I can't believe you wouldn't pay the notes on the house, which we had no clue. He was telling us he was paying for the house.
Oh, after he left, he said he
Yeah,
was paying. Oh.
he quit paying. He didn't pay for probably 4 months, 5 months. No, it was probably 4 months. And the whole time we're thinking he's paying for it, and he was going on vacations.
Really?
He was like traveling everywhere. He went on cruises. He went on beach trips. He went everywhere and just pretty much just let us, you know, whatever. So then he tells me, oh, we have to move all our stuff out. And we only had like a little bit to... Mom just worked to pay for extra money. Like, she just worked, you know, just for extra stuff. And my dad paid all, like, the bills and house notes. So my mom didn't have any money. It was, you know, on my dad. So she was freaking out because she was like, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Luckily, my grandparents happened to be in town and helped us move. My sister's friend's brother lets us rent from him. My dad had ran up credit cards and forged my mom's signature.
Come on.
Ran up 2 or 3 credit cards in my mom's name when he was going on those vacations. He ran up one card. It was a Wachovia card, $17,000.
Come on.
He took out, I don't understand, equity lines on your house.
Yeah.
And did... My mom said something about you fix your house up, but instead he took all that money and spent it like whatever you're supposed... something with the equity line. He took it and ran it up.
The fuck?
And then...
I was gonna say, what happened to the house? It went to foreclosure?
Yeah.
And you guys
We
lost
lost
everything? You guys couldn't sell it or nothing?
Nope. We lost everything. And my mom...
What the fuck?
At the time before kept saying, but we need to sell the house and get everything, you know, just sell it. My dad was like, no, we're going to do it my way. Wouldn't let my mom get a realtor. He one of his friends who does it on the side, he made him do it, which if we would have got a realtor.
And you could get the money at least to pay. You don't lose all that money. You would
Right.
have got the
Oh,
money
my
that you
mom lost a lot. Then my mom inherited some money from her great grandma or aunt, and she.
You
Well,
think your dad didn't even want to like make money off the house?
oh, he was so mad. I don't know. I think he was on drugs.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exact. I didn't want to say it, but it's
Yeah.
exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, I knew he was. I knew he was on drugs. And, 'cause you don't go from being, like, having an awesome job, you know,
That's how you blow
traveling
shit.
when
Yeah.
you want, doing stuff like that, and then completely just throwing everything away. He was definitely on drugs.
That's what it
And
sounds like.
he denies it, but I know he was. My mom caught him doing a line of coke in the, in it. But, he said he crushed a pill. She was like, yeah, right. And, what else happened? I hope they don't show all this stuff. My dad would kill me. Talking about all this. Oh yeah, so we lost the house, and we could have made. Oh yeah, they would have made. I mean, my mom would have been good. She would have been set. It ended up. You know, of course, she didn't have that much money. She couldn't get like a good lawyer, like my dad. Of course, he got some guy that that was a lawyer at the country club to help him. So and stuff. That's why I had to get those other jobs. And two, I knew I wanted my boobs done really bad. And so I knew, like, I wouldn't get it just by, you know, and that was something I was set on getting. And I remember one time I told my dad, I was like, I'm going to get my boobs done. Because I'd been talking about him since I was 18. And then I didn't even tell him until last minute. I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm getting my boobs done. You know?
Mm-hmm. You saved up all yourself and did it?
Yep.
That's awesome.
I worked 7 days a week and was just on the go. But, you know, when you really want something that bad, extra hard. That's why it's easier. Like, if I know there's something I want, like, really bad, I am so determined. It makes me, like, want to work even harder just to get it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, what was it? And two, like, I helped my mom out, but now since I have my boots on, I can help her out a lot more, you know.
That's good.
Some stuff. Yeah, like me and my brother, if my mom didn't have me and my brother, she'd probably live at home, but also I'd catch her, she'd be crying all the time. My mom never cried before, and she would be like, I'm a 49-year-old loser, and I'm like, no, you're not. 19.
Yeah.
And so she never thought that she would have to worry about that stuff. And now she's 49 years old and struggling. But I told her, I was like, you know, things happen for a reason. It'll get better. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything always happens. That's why I told her when, you know, right before all this happened, we were, I remember my mom was like upset and was crying about everything, and I was like, God, I gotta get done with school. And then my brother, he won't ever like go to university or anything like that, or because he has such a like really bad learning disability, so he like won't ever. I know my brother won't ever like really. I know he's a good kid. He'll do good for himself. His niche cup.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's why my brother doesn't like him. And, what happened? Oh yeah. But, right before all this had happened, I remember my mom was crying about everything. It was just like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do. And then it was like shortly after, then someone came up to me and asked me about this show. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, things happen for a reason. And I never took it serious from day one at first because I was like, yeah, right, I will ever make it.
Yeah.
I would always tell myself, I'd just be like, yeah, right. Even when I flew out here the first time, I was like, there's so many people, there's no way I'd make it. And I did. And I was like, whoa. So, I don't know. I just think things are supposed to happen for, a reason. That's why I try to, even though, how sometimes me and you sit here and talk like, oh, we think like we're going to leave the next week and stuff. That's why I always sit here and like think, no, just be positive because you never know. Because I don't think here it really matters if you're the most athletic person or you're the smartest person, or it is the luck too, like you said. And I think it always just depends on things. So, and it is strategy too, but I don't know. You never know.
You're right. You don't.
You don't ever know. We could be saying we're going home next week, or you could be on the block or something, and you could save yourself from the veto, and then the other person who's up against me might go home, and then who knows, you might make it to the final two. You can't just be negative. I still, I think sometimes I'm like, I can see myself making the final. I tried to see myself,
I always tell you positive things.
Yeah, I know, but still, you have to, think about I don't know.
That's nice. I'm glad you told me all this.
That was an earful, wasn't it?
No, it's nice
I
that
hope
you
it
told me.
doesn't show all that stuff. My dad, because I don't want. Oh yeah, my armpit might be a little stingy. My dad, I don't want him to be mad at
Oh,
me.
your stomach.
Nothing. I feel bad.
Stop.
My dad, he'll be mad at me.
They're not gonna show.
You don't think so?
I hope not.
If it does, my dad will be really mad at me.
No, what do you think? It's gonna take a whole fucking episode with that story. It was an hour long.
Because I don't want my dad to look like a bad person. Because, why I didn't talk to my dad for so long.
Yeah, it sucks.
And then after the whole thing, now I think he's straightening up. And I think he's getting his stuff together because now we talk.
Did you tell me you're coming here?
The day that I found out I was leaving, I never talked to him because I had a missed call from him and he put "good luck, honey," or all that mean stuff, and he didn't care because if you think about it, he was traveling or whatever, and he didn't. We would have been basically probably finding friends to live with,
Mm.
And I think my dad was just on, drugs.
Yeah.
He wasn't on his right mind at the time, and I think now he's straightened up, and I think he realizes some things because I've had talks with him about stuff, and I've told him why I haven't, and things like that, because I've told him a lot. Because I had a lot of anger towards them, and that's why when I told you I went through that stage, remember, where I was getting into a lot of trouble and was doing stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I didn't care, because I was like, you know what, whatever. this, everything's going bad for me right now. And so I was just like, did not care. I was being so irresponsible, so irresponsible. There's times I look back and I like cringe. I'm like, why did I do that? Or why did I even act like that? Why did I even do that? Things like that. And then now, I don't do any of that. I don't have an addictive personality, I don't think, things like that. But, it wakes you up, and makes you realize things. And too, I think it makes you a better person.
What?
Going through all that stuff
yeah.
I did,
For sure.
I never did, because there's some people because I used to get so mad, because I always tell my mom, all these girls that I graduated with, I'm like, they still live at home or they go off to college. They don't work as much as I do. They get to still have fun and, whatever. And then I'd always be like, oh, and I always have to work. I always have to work 10 times harder for everything I do. And I used to get so mad. But, it does. It makes you
better.
And I told my mom, too, I was like, I have a good family and the whole thing. But my dad, before I left, but see, the thing is, if my dad wants to meet me or see me, he never wants me to go to his house. I don't know where my dad lives. I just know he lives up towards the lake. I don't know what he does. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about him. Basically, it's someone for what? It was 22
Your whole year,
20
your whole
years,
life, yeah.
22 years. And then all of a sudden, it's the past 2 years, they're just a mystery. You don't know nothing about them.
Well, he's probably starting a new life, probably, or maybe he's ashamed of something.
I'm sure he is. I'm definitely sure he is. I think that's why he's bitter about the whole thing with my mom, because he knows what he did was, I know a lot of things he did was wrong, and I think he sees it now. He wants to talk to my brother so bad, but my brother doesn't have anything to do with him.
Really? Mm-hmm. That sucks. Yeah, he probably was on some...
Major.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It really does.
Even his secretaries were telling my mom he was.
So that's probably why he lost his job.
Because they noticed it. And he was so moody.
That shit fucking sucks. I'm so glad I never did any of that.
It'll mess you up. Expected that he was the one, I think, that got my dad back into it.
Everyone I know does it.
Oh, yeah. I always tell my mom that. You wouldn't be surprised. I always tell her, you wouldn't be surprised how many people do it. And you won't be surprised how easy it is to get it.
You would be surprised.
Oh, yeah. It's expensive.
Yeah, it's another reason why.
It's very expensive. For, a little bit that you would get. It's what, $50?
I don't know.